Howdy, y'all. It's Nicole Cutts and
Lisa Sokka.
Lisa Sokka. I didn't tell her we were going to do that. And welcome to this short episode of Some of My Best Friends Are White. This is conversations between Lisa and I. Two people have been friends since we were babies. And today we want to talk about stereotypes based on race, because both Lisa and I have been subject to not conforming to stereotypes, and in fact then being accused of not belonging to the race. I say this with finger quotes because that's obviously just a man-made construct that we came up with. It's not very real, but we have to deal with it because people act like it's real. Stereotypes. And if you're wondering why I'm wiggling all over the place, it's because I'm trying to get my serape on. Okay, so Lisa's gonna, when she stops laughing at me, she's gonna share about some experiences she had working at a school and being accused of not being white.
My kids at my alternative school,
Make sure you're speaking loud.
who are all Black and Latino kids, were always like, "Miss Sokka, you're not white," and I'm like, I am white." And I always ask them, why do you say that? Like, why can't I be white and be something, cool? Like, I realize there's a lot of white people that I do not claim, okay? But I was like, that's not all white people.
Right.
Like, there are normal white people. There are white people that don't go on like family bike rides with matching uniforms. There are people out there. There are white people that do not go to Starbucks.
So, yeah. So when you said to them, well, what does that mean? What do white people do?
They're like, you jog in the cold and you go to Starbucks and you curl up with a good book and a tea. And I was like, well, first of all, I go to Dunkin' Donuts. Second of all, I don't run and do anything in the cold.
Right.
And third, I drink Kettle One martinis, not chamomile tea. And once the weekend comes, I don't read. I only listen to Audible in my car. So shut that down.
So shut those stereotypes down. See, that's interesting you say that, because part of the issue, obviously, with stereotypes.
Oh, and family dinners.
Family dinners.
Family dinners at the table.
Well, you see, but
And
that's
it's just me and my son at the counter.
Right. And that's the problem with these stereotypes, because some of those things would be looked at, not by everybody, but like, oh, well, that's better. It also could contribute to, well, if it's white people that read, then Black and Latino people don't read,
Right.
If it's white people that have family dinners, then it must be Black and Latino people who don't sit around and have family dinners, right?
I think it's just what they see on television, honestly.
I know, but I'm saying it's limiting. So
Yeah,
I'll
very limiting.
Yeah, so people have these expectations. So my experience growing up in this area of Maryland, and I went to predominantly white schools. Lisa and I went to school together from junior kindergarten to 8th grade, and then I went to a different school for high school. And I remember one time was sitting around talking with some guys that were on the basketball team at school, about two or three black guys, one white guy, and myself. Don't remember what the discussion was, but we said something about being black, and the white guy on the basketball team said to me, "But you're not really black." And I said, "Really?" I said, "How not?" He said, "Because your father has money."
Wow.
And I was like, okay, so maybe what you need to do is expand your definition of what it means to be Black, white, Latino, Asian, right? It's like...
Yeah, because they're equating it with economic status.
They're equating it with...
And education.
Right, but true, and what I'm saying is that rather than trying to say you're not something, right? You're not really black if you don't do these things.
Yeah.
Rather than that, how about you expand your definition
Exactly.
to realize that when you say black, it doesn't just mean those things.
It
when
doesn't
you say
make any
white,
sense.
it doesn't.
It just doesn't make any sense.
I know.
It's not just ignorant. It doesn't make sense.
Sometimes ignorant and not make sense can be synonyms.
Sometimes.
Here's my thing. I didn't have stereotypes of a lot of different races and ethnic groups and all that growing up, because the people that I encountered didn't fit into those. Right?
Yeah,
we went to
especially
school,
in your family.
Right, in my family and also at school. I went to school with, yes, it was
True.
predominantly white, but there were kids from South America, Puerto Rico, Japan.
Japan.
Right. So it was like, and me, the one black one. No, at first, but then it grew. You know, so you. And
They added 5 more black
They
people.
added 5 more blacks, and then after I left, they were like, okay, good. We can now add a whole bunch because she was taking up a lot of space for the Negroes.
We're going to need 5 more this year.
Right. But the part of the problem also is that it's not just those brown and black kids to you and this white boy to me. Because we had a mutual friend, we shall not name him specifically, who I went to high school with. Well, friend is a bit of a strong word. A guy that we both knew, who was black. But he was not from this area. He came from, I think he grew up in Southeast, D.C.
Uh-huh.
And he was out there, been recruited to play sports. And he used to tell me, and this was the first time I encountered this, many ways I wasn't black. And asked me questions. Why was I wearing these particular shorts? Those aren't black.
Really?
They were, remember when we were wearing like those jams, like the surf shorts?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
OP.
Not, this is before OPP. It's just OP, Ocean Pacific. And then later on we got into OPP. But anyway, so he said.
He sure did.
Hey, okay. Keep it PG. She's just joking.
I'm
Anywho,
just joking. JK.
So JK. So anyhow, yeah, he was like, "Why are you wearing those shorts? No black girls wear those shorts." Well, apparently one does because I'm right here. You know, why do you talk like that? That's not black. It is in my house. I mean, and I had a professor. This is how far the ignorance goes in graduate school for clinical psychology, who said to me, well, you know how you speak, like where you've affected speaking like a white person.
What?
I was like, excuse me? Like, first of all, I'm not gonna go into the whole, what my mind said, but it's like, and I corrected him, I said, no, this is not speaking like, this is speaking the way I grew up speaking in a black family.
Your family raises you to speak the way they speak. That's how you acquire language.
Right, but that's part of the ignorance. And it was said in this way, almost like, you know, in order to fit in, you then acquired this from wherever. It's like, you don't know where I came from.
You?
Well, no, he wasn't. I don't remember why he said it. It wasn't a diagnosis, but it was.
I meant more like taking your inventory.
Okay, sorry, because it was clinical psychology. I thought you were trying to put me in
Calm
the
down.
DSM. You're not diagnosing me. I'm not crazy. I got a little crazy about
You need
that.
to back up.
Back up. So anyway, what we're saying, because this is a short episode, is it's okay to notice things, but don't be ignorant.
Well,
That
also
wasn't
just
very
be open to
erudite.
learning about other people's cultures. Now I teach at a school that's all English as a second language
Right.
and mostly newcomers and
Right.
refugees.
Mhm.
And I'm always learning about their culture
Right.
and how it's different and how it's interesting, and it's sharing. It's just sharing different stories.
And how it's the same, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's
of course
the
how
thing.
it's the
We're always
same.
looking at this difference thing. And yeah, I think that we need to, like you said, learn. And that's a part of cultural competence, right? So just a little quick teaching. Cultural competence. Awareness, knowledge, skills. Awareness is about self. Knowledge is about things that you might not be familiar with. And then skills, how do you interact with people
If you don't
who might be
understand
different?
something or you want to know something, just ask. I ask my kids all the time.
Yeah. But it does depend on how you ask.
Well, you have to have relationships with people
Yeah.
in order to broach certain subjects. But they really appreciate that I'm curious about
Right.
things, even as simple as food.
Right.
It's just, in fact, I do a big, my first project when we start school is we write food essays.
Cool.
Because it's a way for us to share our stories, because usually cooking and food and
Right.
eating is around also like
Right.
how we interact with our families. And it's a really good way to learn about people without explicitly having those annoying
Exactly.
icebreakers and
Exactly.
things I don't like to do.
Yeah, so get creative, learn about other people's cultures, races, etc. Don't stereotype. Sorry, I'm not really trying to tell you what to do. We're just having conversation. But see you next time. Please feel free to leave comments below this. Share this with your friends. Make suggestions for topics that you would like to see Lisa and I address. And see you next
out.
time. Peace out.